Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight for my Dear Will Christian 5 sub celebration party, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. We're going to just have some fun. I got some good things I want to talk about today, and just want to talk about them with y'all. So thank you all very much for your support tonight. Thank you for tuning in and all that kind of good jazz. And of course, thank you for subscribing because you guys made this all possible. So thank you very much. As we're getting settled in, I just want to say I had a fantastic Sunday school today. So we have been discussing at Smyrna Presbyterian the importance of the one anothering, caring for one another, being kind to one another, so on and so forth. So we were talking last week and this week and next week we'll be talking about singing together. So we got songs, hymns, and spiritual songs. So last week they went through psalms that we sang. This week we went through hymns that we sang, and next week we'll be talking about spiritual songs. And the reason I liked it is because our new choir director and choir master came and not only played for us, but we all sang together. And I just thought that was a lot of fun. So the lesson was super quick. And we just went through about 3 or 4 songs, sang together as a church community, as a body of believers. And it was really encouraging. So I just want to encourage you all. And by the way, I still don't sound that good. Thankfully, my children weren't there today in Sunday school to tell me how bad I sound. But I just want to encourage you, sing. Sing with your family, sing with your church family, whatever. But just enjoy singing to our King, because that's what we're going to be doing for eternity. So we might as well make some attempt to get used to it, because that's what we'll be doing through all eternity, singing and making much of our King. So hopefully you all had a beautiful, wonderful Lord's Day, and got a lot of fun stuff to talk about, some things that you're going to be seeing as Dear Will Christian moves into further into 2023. So we're going to be talking about that, but let's check out who we got in the building. All my faves, everybody's my favorite in here, so I'm so glad to see everybody. Q's ready to party like it's 1999. Well, I'm going to let you down a little bit there. I'm going to still let the purple one rule that, because I'm going to let you down a little bit on that. I didn't plan for that level of shenanigans, but we got some fun things. All right, what do we got here? Good to see you, Honest Youth Pastor. Good to see you, friend. Good to see you. Of course, we got some of our others' favorites. Brenda in the building. Good to see you, love. Thank you so much. I am so glad for you. I tried to let everyone know about you, April, K-Dub, and Rick Caldwell. Y'all go far and beyond what a lot of YouTubers do. Y'all actually prove your beliefs through scripture. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Mark, always good to see you. Little family reunions going on in there. Eladio, always good to see you. Oh, mercy. Come on in. I was going to text you. Okay, so the Whitaker Talk Show has to come through, and she's here. I don't even know what's going on. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm done now. Bye.
Goodbye. Toodles. Shut the door. Love you, baby.
Bye, Dad.
Why did I do that to the chair? What was I thinking? Anyway, so that's what I got to put up with nowadays. Shout out to the Morehouse Bookstore, hooking me up with my new Morehouse alumni sweatshirt. Thank you so much. I have no idea. All right, what we got here? Yes, the Whitaker Talk Show. I told you she's going to make an appearance eventually. Absolutely. She was waiting, chomping at the bit to get over here and harass us. So that's what I got to deal with. That's what I got to deal with. There we go. Now I'm going to lower that. All right. Good to see you, Mary. Love, good to see you. Always good to see you. Brenda says she loves to sing. Yeah, and we were talking about this after church. And I know Jean Kim earlier last week was actually talking about like when your church sings Hillsong songs and stuff like that. So the choir master and why is Rick Caldwell calling me? Brother Rick, you know I'm on a live, right? You know I'm on a live, right? Young boy. I love that guy. So we were talking the choir master and his brother. His brother is a choir master at another church, but today he came to visit Smyrna Presbyterian. And so we were talking about what we think is the importance of him. So it was me, Alan and his brother Richard. And it was a lot of fun just talking about why we believe that hymns are important. And we're not super old, we're not old fogies or anything like that, but we really see the value, the spiritual value in older songs. On the same note, though, we did talk about, well, how do you bring in and incorporate new songs, or maybe even sing the old songs in a new way. So I guess you have to really understand music. And let me just fess up, I don't understand music at all. So when I see the musical notes written, that doesn't mean, I don't know what that means. It means nothing to me. So, but we were talking about, it is possible to take a song maybe that was written in one way and play it and perform it a different way. And you know, Alan, our choir master, is doing a fantastic job of just augmenting the music, adding a little bit more to it. Maybe repeat a stanza, or do a, my daughter calls it the Smyrna Presbyterian bass drop, where they just stop and everybody just sings with no accompaniment. So it's always good, but it was really informative to talk to him and hear his ideas about it and so on and so forth. So that was it. I appreciate you all listening to my a little tirade there. What we got here, Eladia? What did you say, friend? All right, was thinking of you when the last song was being sang in service. The congregation was easily heard and singing boldly. Praise God. Praise God. Wait, are you talking about the Smyrna Press? Because I know they got in it today, though. I have to give them credit. Today they were getting at it. I don't know what my daughter's doing. There's confidence in her. Yeah, she's a very confident child. She just got done cooking, so she's definitely on cloud nine, because she cooked dinner for the whole family, and I think she cooked her lunches and stuff. I mean, my kitchen smells pretty good, so absolutely. Yeah, she had a lot of confidence. All right, what did you say here, Mark? All should be good as long as she's not allowed to drink Skittles energy drinks. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Mark sent me a picture of a Skittles energy drink. Like, who in the world thought that was a good idea? Like, that mashup, some kind of energy drink flavored with Skittles. Like, that's got to just be an ungodly amount of sugar for no other good reason, but it's just a lot of sugar. I can't think of anything else that would go along with it. Why does Skittles have an energy drink? I don't know why. I have no idea why. But let's get into this. I would love to talk with you all about some of the questions you might have. I'm going to talk about some of the things that we're going to be doing here at Dear Woke Christian. So let's pull up the Dear Woke Christian new slideshow. This should be something fun. And let's see what we got going on. So a couple things I want to talk about, some of the things you're going to expect to see moving forward at Dear Woke Christian. Let me try this out real quick. Shout out to the Westwoods. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Bless you, friend. I am looking forward to connecting with you, because we have got to talk about your project. And if you don't know the Westwoods, let me pull them up. The Westwoods are doing a Breaking Bethel series on their channel. So please go check out their channel as well. And it's been super informative. If you ever wanted to kind of get like a behind the scenes of somebody who attended Bethel, who was a part of the Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry, BSSM, I think is how it's pronounced. Check out the channel. It's very informative, and he's actually pretty funny too. So he's got a good demeanor and a good composition. Check him out. He was on Fighting for the Faith's Prophecy Bingo recently, and he handled it quite well. I was very impressed. So yeah, check out the Westwoods. Breaking Bethel is the name of their project. But that's one thing. Working on my sound effects, but I appreciate that. So something else, moving forward into next month, I want to talk about some of the things you're going to see here on the channel. So be not dismayed. Nothing's really going to change. What to expect from DWC in 23. So I'm going to do a whole lot more shorts in February. A couple things coming up. My kids have a winter break. I might be taking them out of town, and I might be going out of town for a job interview. So it's very possible I might be doing a lot more moving around this month. So I've planned to do quite a few more shorts. So shorts are a little bit easier for me to get together and get put together. So you might see a ton of shorts in February, but that's not going to be a super big change. It might not be a lot of long form videos, but let's continue. I'll still do my Sunday wrap-up show like this as long as I can. I think one Sunday I'm going to be out of town, but I'll make sure you know that. And there will be a couple of interviews. Now I have an interview scheduled in February, but there's going to be some more interviews coming up. So you might just see that I'm going to be doing a lot more interviewing new people and exposing you to new people as best I can through the means of Dear Woke Christian. And speaking of new people, I'm going to be doing the first ever Christian content creator coffee chat. And you might have seen the short already today pop up on my channel, but it's just an opportunity for new content creators or small content creators to introduce themselves, tell you what they're doing on their channels and such like that. I've always felt like it was not the best way to deal with smaller YouTube channels and say, hey, you're not big enough for me to deal with. I know we've all heard people say that, or you don't have enough subscribers for me to deal with. You know what? I don't think that's a good way to approach it. So I would like to help and support other YouTube channels, maybe a bigger channel or a smaller channel. I don't care. If you email me at dearwokec@gmail.com, we can go ahead and coordinate that. It's going to be on February 19th at 7 o'clock. And it's just going to be a good opportunity for you all to meet some new content creators, for them to tell you what they're doing. If you want to support them by giving them a like, share, and subscribe, of course. If you want to go to their Patreon, if you want to go to their Buy Me a Coffee, whatnot like that, that'd be great. But at the end of the day, I want to give other content creators an opportunity like I had when Tim Frisch invited me onto his channel and allowed me an opportunity to cut my teeth on his channel. So Tim Frisch has been a great friend of the channel. So I want to do the same thing for others by supporting them. I don't care if you got 10 subscribers. I don't care. You email me and you're a Christian at dearwokechristian, dearwokec@gmail.com. I will be more than happy to do my best to help you and get you in on the coffee chat. And we can just talk it up and have a good time talking about what we're doing and such like that, and give you a chance to introduce yourself. So if you're a content creator, feel free to check me out there or check that out. So please grab that email. You see the short as well. Grab the email, hit me up, put in the chat, in the subject line, coffee chat, and we'll be ready to roll from there. All right. So, and the last thing, I have a new goal. So since I hit my goal of 5,000 subscribers, which of course is a goal of mine, my next goal is to focus on my views. So you're going to see me really improving the quality of the videos that I put out. I really want you to enjoy watching the video. So though I'm talking about maybe a weighty topic like abortion, I'm talking about a weighty topic like the riots going on in Atlanta, I'm talking about a weighty topic or whatever, I want you to enjoy it. So I've really been focusing on behind the scenes, improving the videos that I put out. So I'm hoping that by improving the videos I put out, you'll want to watch the videos that I put out, and more of you will do that. So my goal is to hit 1 million views on my channel. So this is my Social Blade. I currently have 463,000. My goal is to hit 1 million. When I hit 1 million views, which hopefully will be sooner than later, I'm going to do an epic version of Critical Race Theory Bingo. And I already got it kind of scheduled out, kind of planned out what it's going to be. And if I do it right, we'll be able to do it live. So that's my plan. So hopefully I will get this solved, make sure I have this fixed and in place before we hit 1 million subscribers. Hey, let's hit 1 million subscribers, 1 million views today. I don't care. And I'll just have to figure it out. But so that's my goal for that. So hopefully you'll help me with that. You see some good videos and such. Share my playlist, all that kind of good jazz. I would love to hit 1 million views. And that is that. Bang. All right, I got some good people popping up in the chat. Again, thank you so much for the super chat. Westwoods, I appreciate you. Working on my all right, now Chicken Grease, you said you had a question. What was the question, friend? I did not see that you were asked the question. You know, you can always ask a question. And if you do, just go ahead and put a right question, and then whatever your question is, that's perfectly fine. You saw Mary says she saw his interview with Chris Roseborough was light and sweet. It was hilarious. I thought it was great. Absolutely. Mark, don't worry about it. There'll be more opportunities to improve. I trust it. Okay. It was a great prophecy bingo. So get over there and check it out, Q. Hey, Leila, how are you? How are you? What you got here? Just pop it in quickly and say hi and congrats. Thank you so much. To God be the glory. Indeed, to God be the glory. Thank you so much, Leila's condition. Creations. All right, what you got here? When is Dear World Christian going to stop pretending to be the Black Pope? I can't because I am the Black Pope. What can I do? I don't know what to do. I didn't choose the Black Pope. The Black Pope chose me. I don't know what to do. I am. What's going on, Harrison Family Values? Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you, friend. Grace and peace. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. All right. So that was it. Just want to kind of go over a couple things that you're going to see, hopefully improving. You'll see, hopefully, my video quality and the storytelling will improve this, actually, hopefully next week. But hopefully you'll notice that there's some improvement in the storytelling and so forth. And then, of course, try to just hit 1 million views. I would love to hit 1 million views as soon as possible. We can celebrate that as well. But I appreciate you all so much there as well. Thank you so much, Chicken Grease, for the congratulations. Absolutely. But all right. So I don't know if y'all noticed this. I don't know what to do about my city. I have no idea what to do with my city. You all have seen this. I don't understand, like a riot in Atlanta because they want to have a police training facility. Is that what we're doing now? I'm actually kind of beyond embarrassed. I'm beyond embarrassed. But I don't know if you all saw this, and I haven't taken the time really to dig into it. It happened last night, kind of later last night, 7 or so. But it seemed like a pretty serious deal because they were doing some kind of quasi riots even today, and I'm like, what in the world is wrong with us? I for the life of me, I did not understand. I'm so embarrassed for my city. So let's just pop over here. So you've seen this. I mean, this is downtown Atlanta. I am floored. This is this is straight downtown. If you're familiar with the city of Atlanta, this is right downtown. What used to be called the Underground is about maybe 3 blocks from right here. This is right in the middle of downtown Atlanta. And they were rioting last night because they did not want the police to build a police training facility. And I think that goes to show just where we have, how far this narrative has gone down the drain, so to speak, that we don't want you to actually police. We don't want you to actually keep us safe. We want to, I don't even understand this anymore. And I really hope the mayor is a Democrat, and I'm trying to be gracious to him because he's fairly new. He's an extremely young guy, and such like that. He looks like somebody that wants to do the right thing by the way of Atlanteans or Georgians. So I'm praying that he makes the right decision because he got on, I'm finding that video. He got on yesterday and was very adamant that this was some unacceptable behavior. He called them terrorists. He was very clear. I don't see where it is, but I had it earlier and then I closed it out. But he was very clear, like, this is my city. This is a bad look. This is a bad look. And I think Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken, don't they have the World Cup? I think we have the World Cup coming here soon. This is not a good look. It was bad enough during the Summer of Love, George Floyd riots that so much happened. But yeah, this is not a good look for my city. But y'all pray for Georgia, man. Pray for Atlanta. Because we just don't know we don't know how to do right. Like, man, that was so sad to see. But anyway, so I'm really hoping that Mayor the mayor of Atlanta makes the right decision and increases security. I mean, we need to increase our police force here. If this kind of shenanigans happened under however many police we have, that needs to change significantly, because this was a horrible look for the city of Atlanta. Man, thank y'all so much. The super chats are like going bananas. Man, thank y'all. Thank you. Get some air horn up in there. Thank you so much. The Love Agenda, dear Pope, thank you for all you do. Love you, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate you so much. Again, Harrison Family Values, thank you so much, brother. Thank you. All right. Oh, whatever we do, yes, Eladio, we will not bring the NYC mayor here. Man, now that's a mayor that needs some help. All right, but okay, congratulations on the bandwagon for 9,000. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you again, Mary. Mary's my super fan. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Chicken Grease, thank you from the Black Boat. Give you that indulgence. What's going on, Mark? What's going on, man? I appreciate you, man. Make sure you come to the coffee chat. Make sure you come to the coffee chat. But yeah, I'm really concerned. I'm really bothered because I feel like the narrative is getting away. Like, no, this is not acceptable behavior. Now, I will say, I think it is adorable that these people, let me pull this back up, these people that were doing their rioting last night in Atlanta, they stayed in the city of Atlanta. I'm just saying, I think that's interesting. They stayed in the city of Atlanta. They didn't come to Metro Atlanta. If you're familiar with Atlanta, there's Atlanta, the city, and then there's Atlanta, the Metro. And Atlanta Metro, I mean, it goes all the way out to Alabama, okay? We just be annexing everything. Now, I say that because in Atlanta Metro, you wouldn't have been rioting up and down. They would not have been rioting up and down Kennesaw. Let me say it like that. They wouldn't have been rioting up and down in Cobb County. I'm just saying, they would not have got away with that. Not in Atlanta. I'm sorry, in Metro Atlanta. They wouldn't have got away with it. So, yeah, here it is. 6 arrests in Atlanta protests over proposed police training facility. So rather than allow to have police properly trained, because that's what you heard during the summer of love and summer of peaceful protests, was that the police need to be properly trained, blah, 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 blah. Not properly, that's why they're shooting unarmed criminals. Gotcha. Then why would you not want them to be trained? That makes no sense. But that's what I'm saying. The narrative is getting lost. And I think, I mean, besides the fact I don't believe the narrative, I think it's getting well past, it's getting out of control. And this really needs to be reined in. So I'm praying that Brian Kemp, our governor, as well, like they could have went to Lenox Mall and tried that stuff. I don't think it would have got that far. So they stayed in the city. But my point is, I pray that Governor Kemp, as well as the mayor of Atlanta and other cities, I mean, there's other cities that are going to be impacted negatively by this in the metro area and just northern Georgia, that they get together and make some good decisions, some wise decisions, and stop playing this silly game. Because this is, this is from the summer of peaceful protest. Remember this? Remember mostly peaceful protests? Yeah, okay. Let's stop playing that. Okay, we know that there wasn't peaceful protest. We know that those were riots. So let's just call it what it was. Let's be honest about it and move forward. But yeah, so I'm hoping that hopefully this is behind us. It won't go any further, but I mean, I don't know. So like, look at this craziness. Look at this craziness. Yeah, that's right down the street. So so where they are is literally right downtown Atlanta. So they're allegedly damaging the building, that the police training facility. So you say that the police are not properly trained to police properly, blah, 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 blah. But when they decide to open up a training facility to properly train police, you riot? This has got to stop. This has got to stop. And I'm praying that cooler heads prevail and get their arms around this, especially when a lot of these people, from what I'm understanding, were not even Georgians. You're not even Georgian. Forget not even Atlanteans. You're not even Georgians. They're people. We're importing criminals. That's got to stop. That has to. And I did not intend to do this. I did not intend to go through Twitter, but now these things keep popping up. Now, this right here, this was a very interesting one. Take a second. Here's why white people should check their bias before shopping Black-owned beauty brands. Okay. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because, and I'm going to use, since they have hair right there at the top of it, we're going to use hair as the discussion point. Black people's hair tends to be different from white people's hair. I think we all can agree to that. And each ethnic group has some uniqueness to their hair texture, their hair length, the thickness, fill in the blanks. Okay, so it's fair to say that, yeah, there's a difference. However, I know quite a few, more than a few, women who are of the less melanated culture who proudly use the same hair products that my wife and daughters use. And they got no problem with it. They love it. They love it. They absolutely love it. And to me, I've never heard them be biased about it or had their privilege, what is this, checking their bias. They just want something that takes care of their hair and they like it and they use it. And it would make sense to me, following this logic here, that you would want, if you were a black hair care provider and you were making a product that could be used for hair, that you would want anybody to use it, wouldn't care. As long as you're using it, as long as you're buying it for full price and not going to the Summer of Love to secure it and looting, I think you would want anybody to use it. But this foolishness right here, because the reason I say that is, if you go to a black hair care store, a beauty supply store, wall to wall, there's more products than you could ever imagine. More products than you could ever imagine. So to stand out, you're going to want, first of all, you're not going to get rich selling your product only to one ethnic group. That just can't happen. You want to sell it to other people. You want other people to find value in your product. For crying out loud. Let's talk about beards. Now, I don't know if y'all know this. If you come on YouTube and you're not on YouTube Premium, you probably have gotten an ad for Scotch Porter beard brand for men. They also have hair care and skin care as well. That's a black owned company. Scotch Porter the gentleman that started Scotch Porter is I want to say a Howard or Hampton alumni. Young guy, he might be younger than me. And his product is in Target, it's in the beauty supply stores, it's on internet, fill in the blank. And that dude, the way he put together his ads, you would never know. He has Asian people, black people, Latinos, white guys, fill in the blank. I've seen all kinds of people in his ads because he realizes, hey, black folk can't be the only ones that take care of that fill my pocket by buying my product, because it's not going to happen. There's just too many products. So that being the case, this kind of advertisement right here shows just how dumb we can be sometimes. And shame on you, Yahoo, and shame on you, Stix, M, whoever you are. Shame on you, because it's dumb. We just want people to enjoy the products that they get, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't, and it shouldn't. You're making things worse by being so eternally stupid. So stop it. Stop it. You too. Yahoo, stop it. Just stop. It's just dumb. It is so dumb, and it's not a good look. But let me see. I got a question here. All right. Somebody said Chicago looked like that during BLM, and it was horrible. Yeah. We don't want that. So Chicago, come get your people, because we don't want none of that. We want none of that here in the South. I'm really surprised. I'm hoping and praying it doesn't go in another direction. Because again, we do believe in the pew-pews down here in Georgia, so it could get ugly. I'm hoping that it doesn't. All right. Mary said, I can't understand why they don't want protection from these thugs. Why not? Because the thugs are the ones that are running amok. I don't think if I forgot his name, if the mayor of Atlanta does not pull this thing together and rope this together, he won't be the mayor of Atlanta long. That I can tell you. I can tell you that right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, we'll come back. Got another one at doggone Twitter, man. I got stuff on Twitter. All right, Dear Old Christian, 1 minute. 1 minute they want better trained officers. The next minute they don't. I don't understand it. It's double-minded chicken grease like nobody's business. They want better policing because the police clearly don't know how to police. But then when they say they're going to train the police, they riot. I don't even get it. Make it make sense. I once spotted the Chicago mayor in his job comparing train wrecks of cities. I don't know, man. It's craziness. Hey, what's going on? Trust God, pray. Can I read? Trust God, cry and repeat. How are you? Good to see you. All right. Eladio, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right. No, those riders were not from Morehouse, please. They might have been from Hampton, though. Thank you so much, friend. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now, 2020 was not an act of violence. It was an act of peaceful protest. Remember that? Peaceful protest. Trust the science. Stunning and brave. Stunning and brave. We do need the National Guard. I don't think we should. I think that should have been an immediate call for the National Guard to quash that last night. But I think that's my thoughts. They should have already pulled out the National Guard. We have no time for this. No, going back to the hair care product. No, they don't want. But see, this is the thing now. I'll be honest with you. I don't think a hair care person actually said this. This is a big brain that's just writing articles. Sticks M, just a big brain that's writing an opinion piece. But I don't think, because a perfect example, same thing happened to Black Panther. When Black Panther 2 came out and they were saying, remember that TikToker said white people shouldn't go see it the first weekend? It didn't do as well as it could have done if they had gotten the same kind of fanfare that Black Panther, the original Black Panther got when, was it 2018 or wherever it was, with Chadwick Boseman. If that had happened again, that movie would have murdered it. It did well, but it didn't do as well as it could have done because silly stuff like this, like don't go see it if you're white. What are you talking about? It's just dumb. It's just dumb. It doesn't make sense. And it's a silly narrative that I think we should all push back on. This is something that popped up. I'm like, oh my gosh. That's what I'm talking about. Trans people are sacred. Sacred. That's what it says. That's what it says right there. That's a cult. That's what I'm talking about. That is well out of pocket. I can't imagine there would be any other sin that we would venerate like this. Like adulterers are sacred. Robbers are, the protesters, they're sacred. Like I can't believe that we would say that to anything else. But this one right here, oh, they're sacred? Man, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. All right, there's a couple other interesting ones that popped up that I thought I would talk about real quick. I'll find them in a second. Chicago, come get your mayor. Come get your mayor. Come get your mayor. Here's Mayor Lightfoot. I like how during this debate, the moderator did not just let Lori Lightfoot just say stuff without getting pushback. So he said like, well, how are you going to make the streets safer? Because the problem was Chicago has a really thriving street side market, like where you can just go and buy handbags and shoes and all that kind of stuff. It's just, they have lots of those in Chicago. Well, they deal a lot in cash, of course, obviously. So now what's happening? A lot of these people, these street vendors are getting robbed. So the hot dog stand gets robbed, the coffee stand gets robbed, the shoe vendor gets robbed, so on and so forth. So they're like, what do we need to do to fix this? And listen to Lori Lightfoot. Listen to what she said. You may have already heard this, but listen to what she says. So instead of me saying that, hey, we got to stop, we got to put a police presence, we got to do something, they're making the vendors, the people that small business owners, because you have to get some kind of license or certificate to be able to be a street vendor. So they've actually done all the legal stuff that they're doing. So instead of making those people the criminals by making them say, hey, I can't take cash. I can't take cash now. So rather than say, hey, we got to stop these robberies and maybe have a bigger police presence, do something like that to make it easier for these street vendors to be able to do their task and do their chore. Because a lot of these people are doing this to pay to be able to pay for and take care of their families. So rather than say, hey, we're gonna do what we can to help them out, because of course there's a level of like we can make it a little bit easier if you didn't. It would be a little bit easier if you didn't use cash. I got you, totally understand you. However, but that's a legal tender. That's a way of completing a transaction. I give you cash, you give me the goods and services that I paid for. That's not illegal. That's not bad. So to even make it an issue like that, I think Lori Lightfoot is being obtuse, and I hope they elect her out of there, vote her out of there in Chicago, because you all deserve better, Chicago. That's just my little 2 cents. You all deserve much better than that. Let us continue. All right. We can't reduce police and then get surprised when stuff like this happens. No, absolutely not. But they seem to be. They seem to be surprised. Like, oh my goodness, we lowered the police force. We killed police morale, so on and so forth. We got a glut of police officers going to other counties and going to other districts and so forth. And we're surprised, like, oh, we don't have enough police. Maybe you should stop placating to criminals and placating to people who don't care about safety and such like that. Just something to consider. Because I guarantee you, when you see them out in Canton, Georgia, when you see them in Kennesaw, Georgia, you know something is going south. Because keep in mind, Kennesaw is the town that has as far as I understand, they still have it. To be a homeowner, you have to have a gun. So every home almost in Kennesaw is loaded. Come on. Yeah, come on, let me see you do that downtown Kennesaw. It will not go well. It will not go well at all. That was a mistake of 2020. They let it go on too long without consequence. I don't think there were consequences at all, truth be told. I don't think there were consequences at all. There was a lot of craziness that happened in 2020 that I don't believe was properly dealt with, and I think that's what we're looking at today. That's just my 2 cents. So he said, yeah, they said that the film was a mess, so it was right in thinking it was a marketing ploy. I think that from everything I read, Black Panther 2 was not as good as the original Black Panther. I got you. I think there was definitely some missteps in the writing and the producing of the movie. However, I don't believe that Marvel and the studios believed in the movie and pushed it like they could have, like they did Black Panther 1. Because please keep in mind, Black Panther, the original one, was a crapshoot. They did not know that it was going to do well. They did not know that he was not a major household name character originally. But neither was Iron Man. If you remember back before Iron Man 1, Iron Man was not a top tier character. He wasn't. So they were gambling when they did Iron Man 1. They were gambling when they did Black Panther. But they could have easily wrote it better and did it better, but they didn't promote it like they really believed in it. I'm sorry, I don't believe they believed in the movie. And I've heard several people say it was half done. It was not of the level that they thought it would be, especially coming off the heels of the original Black Panther. All right, let's go. But dear woke Christian, what about those white parents who have black children through adoption or through interracial relationships? I have zero issue with any of them. Any of them. I just think that at the current moment, we could do a better job of, I think if we as Americans, if we as the hoi polloi, the great unwashed, if we stop putting up with the foolishness of the big brains, if we stop putting up with the idolatrous ideas of the radicalized portion of America, because please keep in mind, it's not a large number of Americans. Most Americans are civil, are reasonable, and so forth. Some of them sadly are going along to get along, but the vast majority of Americans are not these rioters and crazies. So if we stop participating in their insanity and said, no, it's not gonna happen. Nope. A boy is a boy is a boy. A girl is a girl is a girl. Nope. We're not gonna play this game with you. Not going to happen. I'm not going to put pronouns in my bio. Not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Nope. If you can't look at me and tell, then that's your fault. I'm not going to play the game with you. Not interested in it. Nope. I'm not going to hate my brother and sister because they have less melanin, because they have more melanin, because they come from the north, because they come from the south. Nope. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. If we stopped participating in it and just said, y'all are just going to play the game by yourselves, I'm not going to play with you, I think we would see some significant changes. That's just my little pie in the sky thoughts. All right. Yeah, trans people are in rebellion. I can't imagine any other sin being promoted like that. I don't understand it. Now, of course, we can make an argument that, well, you all put up with heterosexual sins. You put up with heterosexual infidelity. And you know what? And that's true. And I think that's wrong as well. You're 100% correct. That doesn't make this any better, though. It doesn't make this better at all. Because I do want to talk about somebody asked me about, challenged me, if you will, about my position on Christians and prenuptial agreements. And yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you, Chicken Grease. All right. Uh-oh. Mark said there was no sound. There was no sound from Lori Lightfoot's video. Oh, no. Well, that's not good. I don't want to hear her again. Oh, man, I can hear it on my side, but y'all can hear it. I'm so sorry about that. Please forgive me about that. All right, what we got? All right, so, dear world Christian, they are still phones, cars, catalytic converters. What are they doing? What are they going to do now? Don't drive cars. Don't use electronic devices. I missed something. I feel like I missed a conversation somewhere. All right, so here's a comment. A lot of those businesses would probably lose business if they switched away from cash. Absolutely. I mean, let's just be honest. Okay, let's tell the truth. A lot of that street market, yeah, they're not paying taxes on a lot of that stuff. That's fair. I mean, I ain't mad at somebody. If you got to pay, if you're trying to take care of business, and instead of paying $600 in taxes every month because of what you're selling, you only pay $150, $200. I can't be super mad at you because, I mean, a lot of the time it's crazy. So I totally get it. And I think by encouraging and pushing people to use, apps or Cash App or PayPal or whatever to make transactions, it makes it a whole lot easier for them to track how your money's going. I totally get it. But those are the outlier situations. Fix the problem of crime. Because please keep in mind, even if you get people to stop robbing the street vendors, they're going to go do something else. Because you haven't stopped them from being criminals. You haven't put criminals in their proper place, aka jail. Okay, so therefore, if they stop robbing street vendors, they're going to go rob gas stations. They're going to go rob banks. They're going to go rob homes. They're going to do all the other stuff because they're criminals. That's what they do. They're not going to stop saying, oh, can't rob street vendors anymore. I guess I'm going to become a legitimate business. No, they're not going to do that. Lori Lightfoot, they're not. They're going to go do criminal stuff because they're criminals. Oh my gosh. It's just like, this can't be this cannot be rocket science. This cannot be that intense. I mean, because y'all are big brains. Your governors, your mayors, your councilmen of various and sundry cities, large cities at that. It cannot be that revelation knowledge. It cannot be that if you don't stop criminals, they go do other criminal things. If you just cut off a way for them to be criminal without stopping them from being a criminal, they're going to go do criminal things somewhere else. That can't be a new concept for Lori Lightfoot. It can't be. Chicago, y'all deserve better than that. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all deserve better than that. Brian, babe, somebody say grace and peace to you also. I love the video on Friday with you and your husband. Great job, Brian, babes. Great job. All right. Oh, what does the hat say? The hat says, God is a designer, Violet. God is a designer. This is from the God is a Designer website. They drop a different color hat every so often. And so they had the green one. So I got it for the Dear World Christian green. And that is it. All right. So earlier today, was it today? Yeah, it was earlier today. Somebody came to me on um, my video talking about Ruslan and the lead attorney. And I'm gonna pull this up because I thought I was pretty clear. And maybe I was wrong. Maybe I didn't make it clear. I don't think at any time during that video I challenged that the lead attorney was not a serious attorney. I think I don't think I ever said that. And if I did, or that I ever said like, oh, I could out debate the lead attorney, I don't think I ever said anything that rhymed with that at all. I respect the man. That's his job. It's his task. I would never have said that. But if I did, y'all are welcome to set me straight. So let's pull up this video. All right. Hey, I'm in that hat again. What do you know about that? All right. So this guy, let's let this guy talk. All right. So somebody came in my comment section this morning, and I told y'all, man, I really don't, I really try my best to give good commentary and try to be as respectful as possible in the comment section. I believe that that's the right thing to do as a Christian, as a believer, that I should approach everybody with graciousness, even if you come at me crazy. So this person decided that he came to me and said, I dare you to go on the lead attorney and come out a victor. Now, if you go back to this video, if you see me saying that I could out debate the lead attorney about anything, please let me know, because I never said that. Even here, I said popular Christian Ruslan KD under fire. The lead attorney grills the defendant to agree to this. And I don't see where I was inappropriate. So I even asked the person, I said, hey, thanks for your thoughts, and I appreciate it. So I thought that was over with. Then the person decided that he was going to comment again. If you think you can hold your own against the lead attorney, then step into his arena. It is easy for you to be critical of KD. I believe you would crumble as well. Okay. So again, nowhere in this video did I say I could out debate the lead attorney. This is his duty. This is his job. But this is the reason I want to bring this up. And I'm going to go to my article that I was going to talk about, and we can just talk the rest of the night way. I said, I wouldn't have been on the lead attorney flexing Google data with a man who lives and breathes it. I fully respect the lead attorney and his skills. Did you watch my video? I want you to remember this question, right? It's a 5-word question here. Just, did you watch my video? Your comments seem like you didn't watch what I said, or that you gave both TLA and Rue, or that I gave TLA and Rue a respectful review. Thanks for stopping by. Watch what he said. I did watch the whole thing. So he says I did watch the whole thing, but watch what he said next. My comments were written before watching the whole thing. See, this is why we can't have nice things. So this is the kind of stuff that happens in the comment section. And I do my very best. And you're welcome to go watch, go read the rest of the comments. Please go check them out. And if you think I was out of order, if you think I did actually challenge the lead attorney, let me know. He's, commenting that, the lead is in Atlanta, you're in Atlanta, you should debate him. About what? About what? That I disagree that Christians should get prenuptial agreements? I can stand on that all day long. I disagree with that. I'm sorry that Ruslan agreed with him. That's his fault. That's Ruslan's fault. That ain't me. I don't have to defend it. And what I wanted to point out to you all, besides the fact of people not reading the full comments, that just is ridiculous. But beside that is, if you're going to stand on a biblical truth, you don't have to vacillate on that. You can just stand on it and just be comfortable. Say, God created man and woman. That's it. Now, if y'all want to sit here and argue about 95 different genders, that's on you. I'm not going to play the game with you. God created man and woman. That's it. Oh, you want to argue about 95 other genders? Take yourself over there and argue about it. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to stand on biblical truth. So when you stand on biblical truth, you don't have to do these silly things that people are doing. And I just want to encourage you all to not do it, to not even play the game with them. So when somebody comes to your comment section, other content creators, and say crazy stuff like that, Whatever. I'm not going to play that game with you. At no time did I say I would debate somebody over something so asinine and stupid, because I know I did say that the argument was already flawed because God hates divorce. So the idea and the notion that you're going to prepare yourself for divorce, you're already preparing yourself for something that God has said that he despises and hates. So why would I even play the game with you? Again, you don't have to do that kind of stuff with these people. All right, I know some of these comments have gotten, I see a comment that I missed already. Thank you so much. What's going on, Lou, in the building? My brother Lou, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. BD Bombing Elizabeth says PayPal changed their policy. If you are paid $600 in sales, now they will send you a 1099. It changed from $2,500 a year to $600. Absolutely. Actually, I stopped messing with PayPal when they decided that they could lock your account for things that you say. That's why I don't use PayPal anymore. It does come. It used to come in handy, but I don't even mess with them anymore. Rumor has it that Lightfoot is going to recommend to not walk to avoid criminal activity. Yes, I'm being snarky. Well, I mean, that would be the next logical conclusion, because her logic is definitely not there in that idea that she had. So Chic and Grease, what did you just say, love? Oh, dear Will Christian, I did not hear the Lightfoot video. Okay, I will play it again. Let's see if I did. I will play it again. I'm sorry that it did not. You got to click on that. Yeah, click on allow that. Okay, this should be it. I hope it works now. It should. Let's see. All right, let me see if I pull Lori back up, see if you can hear her. I know you can see her. All right, let's see if we can hear her. If you can drop me a 5 in the chat if you got 5 on Lori. Can y'all hear her? Okay, it is muted. Darn it. Okay, why is it muted? I'm sorry about that. Let's figure this out. I'll be right back. All right. Let's see. Lori's not going to be here for a second. I'm going to get rid of her because it should not be muted. It should be shared, but some reason or another it is muted, and I don't know why. Let's try this. Sorry about that. But she's over here talking about why she should, why her opponent's plan is not going to work according to her. But all right, let's see if this works. But she's discussing why her opponents in the mayoral race in Chicago, why her plan would not work, but Lori Lightfoot's plan would. Well, whatever, Lori. And she's definitely not. It's not working. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. Watch that up. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, so clearly it didn't work. I'm sorry. Please forgive me about that. I have no idea why I didn't do it. But I will make sure it works while I'm sitting there talking. I'm working on it while I'm chit-chatting with y'all. Thank you so much, Dwayne. Appreciate you, brother. Grace and peace, friend. StreamYard. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Sorry about that. It was muted. I know. I'm not mad at you, Lord, forgive me, but I'm still wondering why she's bald in the front and curly in the back. It's like some kind of weird mullet arrangement. I actually thought that when I watched that video initially. I thought that. So you are in my mind. So the Lord will have to forgive us both. Business in the front, party in the back. There you go. No, you are correct. It's weird. I don't know what's going on with her hair. And maybe it's some issue. I don't know. Maybe it's some medical condition. Somebody asked, is it a medical condition? It's possible. I don't know. But she deserves all the flack that she gets. So she's going to get it. And she's going to get it from us. But that is that. I appreciate it. Let's see. She can resend for the person who responded before watching your video about the lead attorney. He who responds with a word before he hears it is folly and shame to him. Proverbs 18:13. I agree. And later on, I told him, I'm like, my man, like I have no disrespect for lead or Ruslan. I think Ruslan botched it up far worse than the lead did. Lead attorney is doing what he does, which is talking about his skill set, or what he's good at rather. And then for Ruslan to come on there and just read and Google facts and read such like that, like, dude, come on, man. That's disrespectful, man, that you think you can come over and just read some stats that you got off of LexisNexis and a whole grown man that has been doing this for 20 plus years is just going to kowtow and fall over because you read something off of some data. I didn't get it at all. So I don't think I was disrespectful to either of them. I was more concerned with the fact that Ruslan would argue about something that was not as important as the gospel. And since the man said he did not believe in the gospel, did not believe in the Bible or anything like that, I thought that would have been far more of an important topic to discuss with him than anything else. I mean, like, what else really is that important if not for this man's soul? I don't get why that was more important to debate about prenups, which, by the way, would have been a moot point because Ruslan is already married, so it would have been too late. I don't even get it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, why argue about that and literally miss out on an opportunity to give him the gospel when you could have done that? So it was just weird. I did get logged in, so let me see if I can get this thing to play correctly for y'all in a moment after I find it again. I don't know why I couldn't find it. All right, let's pull this. I love it. Jason, get this together, bro. What's going on here? All right, here we go. Let's see if this works now. All right, so hopefully you can hear this guy and see it. So let's see if I got it right. All right, let's go back and find Lori Lightfoot. Where are you, Lors? There's some comedy on this dog on Twitter lately. Twitter has been unhinged lately. And this is my downtown. This is my downtown in my city right here. That's craziness, man. Oh, here's the mayor giving a press conference. All right. Can you please let me know if you hear this? Drop me a 5 if you can hear this okay. No sound again. All right, so I've got to figure my life out. My life is clearly not doing the right thing. All right, let's get this. I'll be right back. How do we mess this up, Jason? All right, let's see here. I have no idea why the audio is not playing this time. All right, see, this is why I always be doing mic checks. So people be wondering, Jason, why do you always do those mic checks? Because of this kind of foolishness right here. All right. Last time. What's the last time? I'm going to go over our article. I got to go over it anyway. So, Yeah, I have no idea why it's doing this. All right, well, all right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stop because I think it's gonna bugger something up again. So, all right. Anyway, I apologize about that, y'all. Thank y'all for being kind and not dogging me out like my man did. All right. I'll figure it out and I'll do it again. Well, maybe we'll do one tomorrow and we'll talk about Lori Lightfoot and all her shenanigans. All right. So this is the article I wanted to look at. I thought was pretty interesting. And if you're familiar with The Guardian, they're just a newspaper. They talk about a lot of random stuff. But I thought this was really interesting because it's, again, another look at how the world sees the church and how people outside of Christendom see inside of Christendom and what they think about it. And I just thought it was really, this article is super interesting. And since there's no sound, I can go through this real quick with y'all. I just want to check it out. Just, that's too small. All right, let's try this. Yeah. All right, that's pretty good. I hate all these ads. Good gracious. Losing their religion. Why U.S. churches are on the decline. And someone asked me about this in an interview last week about this. And they asked me, am I concerned that so many churches, people are leaving church because churches weren't supporting like social justice and critical race theory ideas? I said, no, not even a little bit, because that's not the purpose of the church. But I think this is really lends itself to us having a good discussion about what is the purpose of the church. Because I think unbelievers think the church is something else. And I believe April talked about this, and I know I've talked about this when we were discussing Jamal Bryant and his social activism that he has brought into the church. He really thinks the church is supposed to be, or is really like an adjunct arm of the government. And so if the government is doing XYZ, then the church should be doing XYZ in lockstep. So let's keep going. As the U.S. adjusts to increasingly non-religious population, thousands of churches are closing each year, probably accelerated by COVID. Now, I do believe that COVID did play a role in lots of churches closing. However, I think it's because they were already full of unbelievers to start with. That's just my little 2 cents. And the under caption here says, about a quarter of the young adults who dropped out of church said they disagree with the church's stance on political and social issues. And again, that's not the church's role. That is not the church's role or decision. Or role to take, because Christ has determined what the church is to do. But let us continue. Churches are closing at rapid numbers in the U.S., researchers say, as congregations dwindle across the country and a younger generation of Americans abandon Christianity altogether, even as faith continues to dominate the American politics. I think, and I'm pretty sure that you all would probably agree as well, that yes, Jared, The Guardian is a UK version of the New York Times. I love that. But I think one of the problems that I think we're realizing is that if a church starts to embrace some level of form of social justice, they have to continue. They can't just say, oh, we're just going to take only this much of social justice. They have to, because the social justice crowd is an insatiable monster. They never have enough. It's never enough. So if they start, they must continue. There's not even a finish. There's not like, okay, we're only going to go this far. Nope, you have to go all the way. So I think that's part of this problem. But let us continue. As the U.S. adjusts to an increasingly non-religious population, thousands of churches are closing each year in the country, in a figure that experts believe may have accelerated since COVID-19 pandemic. The situation means some hard decisions for pastors who have to decide when a dwindling congregation is no longer sustainable. I think that's something that's really interesting. That sentence right there. Like, what do you mean by that? It might not be the dwindling congregation. It might be the building, but I continue. Because I know countless large churches here in Atlanta, in the metro area, that are not filled to capacity, that are extremely underpopulated every Sunday. But let us continue. But it has also created a boom market for those wanting to buy churches, with former houses of worship now finding new life. And I think the UK has had a serious boom in this where churches are turned into nightclubs, they're turned into apartment buildings, they're turned into all these other things. About 4,500 Protestant churches closed in 2019. That's actually before the pandemic. So, okay, that's before the pandemic. The last year data is available. With about 3,000 new churches opening, according to Lifeway Research, it was the first time in a number of churches in the U.S. hadn't grown since the evangelical firm started studying this topic. With the pandemic speeding up, a broader trend of Americans turning away from Christianity, researchers say the closure will only have accelerated. I disagree. Many of these people weren't believers to start with, and they were just going to church, doing moral therapeutic deism, going there to scratch an itch, to feel like they could get the blessings that they think they should get from, quote unquote, worshiping God. So, that is the problem itself. But I continue. The closures, even for a temporary period of time, impacted a lot of churches. People breaking the habit of attending church means a lot of churches had to work hard to get people back to attend again, said Scott McConnell, executive director of Lifeway Research. I don't disagree with that. I know churches here in Atlanta that were closed for well past when they should have been. I know a church that was closed for almost 2 years. They literally just opened sometime last year. So they were closed for almost 2 years. That was a lot. That was a lot. But let's continue. It's a lot. In the last 3 years, all signs are pointing to a continued pace of closures, probably similar to 2019 or possibly higher, as there's been a really rapid rise in American individuals who say they are not religious. Protestant pastors reported that typical church attendance was only 85% of the pre-pandemic levels. Well, by God's grace, I think that probably was too high to start with. And many of the people that attend church, again, and I've said this before, I said this during my videos about Brandon, the atheist, I find it difficult to believe that Christ saved somebody and they were born again. They were truly born again, regenerated, born from above. And then they turned away from the body of believers that Christ called them to. Now, maybe they went to a different church. Let me give you that, okay? But to say that they've abandoned the Christian faith altogether, I got some questions. I got a lot of questions about that, but I continue. While research by the Survey's Center on American Life and the University of Chicago found that in spring 2022, 67% of Americans reported attending church at least once a year. I've never had anybody ask me that question. I've never had anybody. I hear it all the time. People saying that they were having a survey, they did a survey. I've never had a survey. I've never had a Nielsen survey. I never had the Nielsen TV, the Nielsen radio. I've never had anybody survey me about church attendance. Never. Holla at your boy. I'm right here at Whitaker Park. Hook me up. Reported attending church at least once a year, compared to 75% before the pandemic. But while COVID-19 may have accelerated the decline, there is a broader long-running trend of people moving away from religion. And this is what I want to talk about. In 2017, Lifeway survey, again, I don't know who they surveyed, young adults. I was young. Oh, okay, no, between 18 and 22. Okay, maybe it wasn't me. Who had attended church regularly for at least a year during high school. The firm found that 7 out of 10 had stopped attending church regularly. I would love to know, what did they actually experience when they went to church? That would have been my question. What did you actually experience? What were you seeing? What were you a part of? What were you doing? That's what I would love to know. Because if you're going to Six Flags Over Jesus, then I totally understand why you stopped going. Because Six Flags Over Jesus is not meant to equip you to go to college and deal with the atheist professor, or equip you to go out into the world and deal with the secularization and skankification of the world. It's not meant to do that. It's just meant to keep you from sinning at church. That's really all it is. So let us continue. The younger generation just doesn't feel like they feel they're being accepted in a church environment or some of their choices aren't being accepted. Okay, like there's a lot of questions there. I know many of you all in the chat are probably asking the same questions like, wait, what do you mean? Your choices are not being accepted? My choices should be conformed to the image of Christ. So my choices should be in line with the Bible, not with the culture. But I guarantee you that's what they're talking about. Let's continue. Some of the reasons were logistical. He said, as people moved away for college and started jobs, which made it difficult to attend church. I got you. That's why earlier last week, I asked for different websites that people can go to search out a faithful church in their area. So if you move to Iowa, if you go to New York, if you move to New Orleans or whatever, can you find a good church there? But also ask the pastor of the church that you currently attend. They will more than likely give you a good recommendation of a church in the area that you're going to be moving to, if you wanted to. But I continue. But some of the other answers are not so logistical. One of the top answers was church members seem to be judgmental or hypocritical, says McConnell. So let me make sure I've got it right. Judgmental or hypocritical. So that means you don't go to gyms. Judgmental or hypocritical. That means you do not go to Walmart. Again, you still go to these places. You still go to those places. You still go to the Y. You still go to grocery shopping. You still go to the store. You still go to the mall. You still go. They judge you there all the time. All the time. All the time. So I don't understand why that would be the case, but I continue. And to say somebody's hypocritical, that's the gospel. God accepts people who are not perfect. God accepts people who are flawed. God accepts me. He's regenerated my heart. So yeah, I want to be around people because these are the people that God saved me to be around. They're not perfect because I'm not perfect. Go figure. All right, let's continue. And so the younger generation just doesn't feel like they're being accepted in a church environment, or some of their choices aren't being accepted by those at church. I'd love to know what those choices are. So let's continue. About a quarter of the young adults who dropped out of church said they disagree with the church's stance on political and social issues. So again, not on theology, because I want to know, what were they teaching you? What were they teaching you? Because political, that's again outside. Social issues, that's again outside. What did they teach you theologically? Because that is the issue. If they weren't teaching theologically and they're teaching politics, if they didn't teach you good sound doctrine, but they teach you social issues, there's a problem. But if they're teaching you good biblical and giving you a biblical worldview, you're now able to deal with social issues and political issues properly and deal with them in their proper context. It's really that easy. I don't know what else these people wanted, but let us continue. A study by Pew Research, again, another place that has not reached out to me. Pew Research found that the number of Americans who identified as Christian was 64% in 2020, with 30% of the U.S. population being classified as religiously unaffiliated. About 6% of the Americans identified as identified with Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism. Since 1990s, large numbers of Americans have left Christianity to join growing ranks of U.S. adults who describe their religious identity as atheist, agnostic, nothing in particular, Pew wrote. So that means that our mission field is right. Our mission field is ready. Our mission field is there. So we could more than likely, following this logic, we can probably assume that our neighbors to our right or to our left or in front of us or behind is probably one of them is dealing with a crisis of faith. And if you are a believer, you can more than likely carry on a conversation, start a conversation with them and give them the true gospel. And that's what I understand it to mean. This accelerating trend is reshaping U.S. religious landscape. I think this is a problem that we have here in this country, that we think for some reason or other that America is supposed to be a Christian-friendly country. Now, again, it was founded on some principles that are Christian. There were people who profess to be Christian and signed our founding documents, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, America is not a Christian nation at all. Now, that does not mean that we don't want the best for our country. Does not mean that we're not striving to be a good, faithful citizens and such of that nature. But at the end of the day, I think it's a misnomer to think that America is Christian. That's a problem. I think we've thought that too long. And I think only now is it becoming clearer and clearer that, yeah, y'all some pagans. Y'all some heathens. Well, they've always been heathens. They always have been. It's just a matter now that we're now realizing it. In 1972, 92% of Americans said they were Christian. I would have argued that was already wrong right there, but I continue. Pew reported, but by 2070, the number will drop below 50%. That's probably true. It's probably below 50% now, truth be told. The number of religiously unaffiliated Americans or nuns will probably outnumber the adhering to Christianity. Okay, that's fine. Stephen, author of novelettes, The Making of Ex-Christian America, and a professor of theology and sociology of religion at St. Mary's University, said, in the Christian world, it has been a generational change. While grandparents might have been regular churchgoers, the children would say that they believe in God, but not go to church regularly. By the time millennials came around, they had little experience or relationship with church going or religion. I think this right here is phenomenal. This right here is the linchpin problem. Take your kids to church. Catechize your kids. Give them good reasons to why you believe in a God, and more importantly, why you believe that Jesus Christ is the only way. Give them those good reasons. Help them out, because they're not going to get it in the world. So if you don't tell them and you don't show them, you don't take them to church so they can learn, how are they going to learn? How are they going to learn? That's parental malfeasance. I'm talking to myself. I'm challenging my own self to do a better job. In the Catholic Church, in particular, the sexual abuse scandal may have driven away people who had only a tenuous connection to the faith. The other thing is the pandemic. This person said, a lot of people who were weakly attached to suddenly have months of not going. They then think, well, I don't really need to go, or we found something else to do, or thinking it was hard enough dragging the kids along, then we really ought to start going again next week. And I know people who've done that. I know people who've said these exact statements. Bullivant said most other countries saw a move away from religion earlier than the U.S., but the U.S. had a particular circumstances that slowed things down. Canada, Britain, France, Australia, New Zealand, the nuns rise much earlier. Yeah, I know. I've heard about Britain. I've heard a lot about that. The wake of the 1960s, the baby boom generation has this kind of big growing separation of traditional Christian morality, Bullivant said. What happens in America that I think dampened down the rise of the nuns is the Cold War. Because in America, unlike in Britain, there's a very explicit kind of Christian America versus godless communism framing. In America, unlike in Britain, there's a very explicit kind of Christian America versus godless communism framing. And to be non-religious is to be un-American. Okay, I can kind of get that. I can see what he's saying. I disagree with it. And I can see that there's been a conflating of America and Christianity, American Christianity. I can kind of see that. I continue. I think that happens. I think it dampens it down until you get to the millennial generation, for whom the Cold War is just a vague memory from their very early childhood. When people leave congregations dwindle. Yes, okay, I can dig that. Totally dig this. Yes. And when that gets to a critical point, churches close. Yeah, I think churches should contract already. I think they should look to deal with a smaller congregation, maybe lower their footprint, so on and so forth. But I totally get it. That has led to a flood of churches available for sale and a range of opportunities for the once holy buildings. Brian Dolhide, managing director of AD Advisors, a real estate company that specializes in church sales, said in the last 10 years had seen a spike in sales. Frequently, churches become housing, or care homes, while some of the churches are brought and have other churches wanting to expand. I've seen that as well. But selling a church isn't like selling a house or a business. Frequently, the sellers want a buyer who plans to use a church for a good cause, Dolhide said, and had recently sold a church in El Paso, which is now used as housing for recent immigrants. Okay, interesting. And a convent in Pittsburgh, which will be used as an affordable housing. Okay, faith-based transactions is so different in so many ways from the for-profit transaction. We're not looking for profit from the transaction. We're looking for the best use of that reflects the last 50 years or 100 years, if possible. The closures aren't spread evenly, though, in this country. In Texas, somebody said that there were fewer churches for sale than at any point in the last 15 years. He believes that's partly due down to Texas' response to the pandemic, where the governor allowed churches to open in May 2020, even when numbers of new COVID cases were extremely high. I would say if a church stayed closed for more than a year, it was really hard to get those people to come back. I agree 100%. I've seen that actually be the case. When you were closed for 3 months, you were able to get over it. Yep, I agree with this paragraph completely, because I've seen it in real time. That aside, closures are often due to the failure of church to adapt. Okay, this is interesting. I really thought this was interesting. A church will go through a life cycle. At some point, maybe the congregation ages out. Maybe they stop reaching young families. I know this person is doing their best to write the article for the audience that they're writing it for, but please keep in mind, the church's mission is not primarily to just be an outreach arm. It is meant to help those persons whom God has saved, whom Christ has died for, as they come to the church to be equipped to go out. Now, yes, they will go out and bring people in, obviously, but when they come here, it's not meant to deal with social issues or political issues. It is meant to deal with hearing the gospel, being taught, being properly equipped to understand your faith. At the end of the day, that's really it. So let us continue. If the church ages and doesn't reach young people, and I think that's a sad state of affairs, because like this term, the church, right here, just seems to be really dicey to me, because it's not a building. It's a congregation of people. You have people of all different ages in there. So those older people should be sowing into those younger people, and those younger people should be spending time with older people. I mean, there should be a commonality there, and learning and growing within the church as well as from the pulpit. Or the demographics change and they don't figure out how to reach the new demographic, that church ends up closing. I disagree, because Smyrna Press has been doing a fantastic job of growing, and guess what? They've done nothing different. They're doing the same thing that they were doing when I came, well, except they don't pass the plate for offering, and they don't pass the plate for the Lord's Supper. That's the only thing that they don't do. That's the only thing that's different from when I first joined. The preaching is still the same. The songs are still the same. They're sung a little bit different because we have a new choir master, but they didn't do anything to me, this seems like this reeks of pragmatism and somebody who's not a member of a church trying to tell pragmatically what the church needs to do. Just my thoughts. Yes, there are financial pressures that will close a church, but oftentimes it's more that they didn't figure out how to change when the community changed. I would love to hear what this person thinks that is. Like, what is that? What do you mean by that? Like, when you say they didn't change, what do you mean? Or they didn't have enough young people to continue the congregation for the next generation. I do think that there's some merit there. However, there's a lot that a church does by being inviting to families and encouraging family worship that I think you definitely would miss if you're not a member of a faithful church. And I don't know this person from a can of paint, so I don't know what their belief system is or where they stand, but it definitely, to me, it seems pretty clear that they're telling the church what to do, but they themselves are not a member of a church. That's what I extrapolate from it. But, feel free to check it out. It is, I'll just drop the link in here just so if anybody else wants to read it or check it out. And that's from The Guardian. All right, let's see. There was a couple questions that popped up, and I'm going to get y'all. I don't want to leave you all here at all. I know there's a lot of conversation going on about families and churches. I see some passages going on there. Wait, what happened at the Mall of America in Minnesota? What happened? Anyone else see that video at the Mall of America? What happened, Mary? I didn't see that. What happened? I heard about it. What happened? Yes. This isn't the first incident. What happened? They detained a Somali man who's a believer for sharing the gospel. Some Muslims there. Is that the guy that was wearing the shirt? It's like a greenish fluorescent shirt that said Jesus saves. Jesus is the only way. I think I know what you're talking about. If that is the case, then I did see that. I didn't know that was at the Mall of America though. Wow. My grandparents used to live in Minnesota, and they've passed on now. But my wife and kids like the Mall of America. All right. Our country and kingdom is beyond this world, and I feel it's important to keep that in mind. I agree 100%. 100%. There is no reason to worry or doubt because this is not our home. People don't like standing on God's word because we are lovers of self. Yeah, I agree. No argument there. And this is a great point. Thank you, Chicken Grease. And I've mentioned this. The church grows under persecution. When people see that you really mean what you believe and your belief system goes beyond just the creature comforts or goes beyond what is acceptable by society, that is definitely stands out to people. And that's why the church thrives in persecution. I'm sorry. There's no other way around it. I heard a sermon yesterday about how the Bible ultimately prepares us for suffering. And he was going through the book of Ruth. It was a wonderful sermon through Ruth chapter 1. And I didn't realize all the different suffering aspects that were in the beginning of the book of Ruth. And to realize that the Lord equips us for that. Nobody wants it. Nobody's looking for it. And it's such like that. Nobody's craving and rubbing their hands. Can't wait for that. But they do understand that, persecution and suffering is the telltale sign of a Christian faith. At some point, we're going to have to deal with something that's not beneficial. That's not really cool. That's not what we want. But our God is still King. So, for His glory. Jared said there has to be a falling away. There has to. You cannot convince me that everybody who professes to be a Christian is actually a Christian. You can't. There's no way. We are officially in the USSR training, but God is still on the throne. Amen. Absolutely. Yes. Kiana, that's it. That means that we don't do a good job of handing down the faith. Absolutely. We have to pass that baton to them. We got to do a better job of passing that baton to them and giving them a good pass by discipling our kids and catechizing our kids and helping them understand those tough questions that they're going to experience. Because the thing is, every question that they're going to face when they go to college, when they go to university, when they go out into the workplace and so on and so forth is not new. There is not a new question about the gospel, a new question about the Bible, a new question about the existence of God. There isn't a new one. There is not one, not a one. I promise you, if your kid became very astute in apologetics and answering various and sundry questions, they would probably be better off because there's nothing new. There are no new questions. Even going back to the video that I did this week on the young man that said that he had 2 questions that no Christian could answer. Why did God make hell and why did God make the devil? Like, I mean, that's it. Those are not, nobody's ever asked those questions before. Nobody. Nobody's ever answered those questions before. Nobody. Come on, man. All right, so honestly, my parents were one of those ones that never went to church. They didn't like the people there, and with my mom disabled, it was easy. It was an easy excuse. So that's a wonder I'm faithful today. I totally understand. My mom was disabled all my life. So, but she did take us to church. So thank God that she was able to, and she took us, and now we're faithfully serving the Lord. So praise God. And my mom came to church today, sat next to me. So it's always good to see her. If the kids don't learn, if the kids can't learn in school and they don't learn at home or in church, where will they learn? That is a fantastic question. That's a wonderful question and something I think we should all consider. But let me go back to this. The the home should be the first place that they learn. And then school and church that can vie for second place, second and third place. But the home should be the first place that they're learning. So if they're not learning at home, then the other two almost is a moot point. All right, so Mary says, I'm sorry, but I think if a church closes, I have to wonder how Christian was it? Would love to see the Compaq Center close and turn into a sports arena. Poor Mr. Osteen. I agree. But yeah, I think there's a lot of questions about that. And I don't think that the interviewer, I don't think they were a bad person at all. But I don't think that they asked a lot of questions like what made, again, they were assuming political and social issues. And they didn't even explain what those were, by the way, is why the church closed or why people left the church. I don't know. Maybe they just realized that they weren't really believers, or maybe they realized they weren't being taught the gospel. They went somewhere else. Smyrna Presbyterian has been growing by God's grace since the pandemic. We talk about it during our diaconate meetings pretty regularly. Our church has grown quite a bit. When you see the rows are pretty full, and in your mind, you know, like, oh, this family's not here today, or this family's not here. Like if everybody came, it would be a mess. So I'm just thankful that the Lord has blessed this church to be able to thrive in the midst of situations like this where churches are closing. What do we have here? Is meant for equipping the saints. Absolutely. The church should not be addressing political and social issues, not from the pulpit. I will say that again, not from the pulpit. If you want to talk about it in Sunday school or adult Bible study or men's group or women's circle, whatever, knock yourself out, but not during Sunday service. Sunday service should be for the Lord's worship. And I will never back down off of that. Hearing this made me look up the church plant I left when I saw Heresy. I haven't seen anything new since the beginning of the year from them. Wow. Beginning of this year? Wow. Maybe they closed too. That's interesting. Eladio. Our pastor had wanted to eliminate the offering plates for years, but wasn't able to accomplish it until the pandemic hit. Well, we're actually going back to it. So Smyrna Press is going back to passing the plates. I thought we were supposed to do it today, but I know we're definitely going back to it in February. So we'll be going back to passing the plate. I kind of don't want to, but I understand why they want to do it. But I kind of don't want to, but I will roll with the team. I'm work with the team. Eladio says the church I'm attending has young people and diversity. The main reason we are all here to hear the word of God rather than agendas and heresy. No argument for me. That's it. And again, like I think if you faithfully do that, God is going to grow the church. It's not for us to grow it. If the Lord says that it's time for His church to close, then the Lord's going to close His congregation and move it on, I guess. But I think if you're faithfully preaching God's word, you can trust and believe that the Lord will grow your church, grow His church as He sees fit. And whoever comes in, that's who you preach to. Oh, okay, so you said that. What happened at the Mall of America? Yeah, multiple incidents. Okay, I'm sorry. I totally don't know what happened. Oh, Mall of America. Apparently, guys. I see. It seemed like I missed something. I might have missed a conversation or something, but about the Mall of America. All right. Kenneth Copeland thinks he's Christian. Doesn't mean he is. I agree. There's no reason to believe otherwise about him. What's going on, Bible Care and Share Fellowship? Blessings. Blessings to you. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Near me, Tanner says, near me said that the reason the early church grew and flourished so much was because the church outloved and outthought their pagan neighbors. Okay. I know they outloved them. And I think they also showed a countercultural approach. Like, for example, the relationship between husbands and wives. That was different than what the pagans had seen before. So I can dig that. He said a pastor near me. Okay, I can dig it. I need a little bit of time to mull over it, but absolutely. What's going on? Jen, how are you, friend? My pronouns are try me. I identify as sugar grits. Have mercy. All right. So, and you're talking about the young man could never have been happy with the answer that no matter what the answer he got, because he could never be happy with whatever God did. And this is in reference to the young man's video, 2 questions that no Christian could answer that I did this week. Yeah, like the questions weren't even that hard. They were not some deep, high level thought. Like the scriptures don't give us those answers. I can trust that. It really was that easy. What's going on, Mythological? Good to see you, my friend. All right, what we got here? What's going on, Wholehearted Christian Brother Jacob? What's up, everybody? Congratulations, big bro. I appreciate you and your work on this channel. Thank you so much, man. Make sure you hit me up with that email for the coffee chat. Thank you so much. A little bit of family reunion going on. If we are connected to the vine, we produce after our own kind. That's it. I mean, it really is that simple. It really is that simple. Hill says, after the summer, our tiny church lost many people, some due to moving away, others died. But we are even more full now. God filled them right back up. I mean, that's what He does. That's what He does. And you don't have to do special programs to do it. Now, do you want to have, a church-wide picnic? Okay, sure. And invite your neighbors. Okay, yeah. Fall festival. Okay, no problem with that. I mean, I think those are probably all good things. But at the end of the day, the Sunday service is meant for believers and is meant to equip you to grow in Christ's grace. I mean, that's really it. But all right, tell that to Warnock and the rest of them. Churches for building the saints or their coffers. I agree. Well, I don't even mess with Warnock anymore. I think he is well past gone. I don't know who they're here. There's a bunch of people calling. I think they're talking about Lost and Found Faith in her grit comment. Dear World Christian Didn't he say he cuts off those who are not producing? Yeah, absolutely. But let's say that people are, and just like you said a moment ago, chicken grease, if you're connected to the vine, you will produce. So if you're there and you're not producing, is it fair to say that you're not connected to the vine? I think that would be fair. I think it's very fair to say if you're not producing. Then now, I think we do need to talk about, well, what is producing? Go back to that. Where is it? Okay, what is producing? Because I don't think numbers primarily is producing. If there's 10 people in your church and those 10 people are faithful Christians that are growing in God's grace, they're discipling their kids, so on and so forth, and each week you're just getting one or two more, that's great. But even more than that, you're still the production of saints or the growth of saints will happen, but the people that are in the pews is the primary concern. So I hope that made sense. That would just be my little pushback there. Okay, yeah, I don't know what happened to this Mall of America thing. Y'all got me really bugging about this, but I'm trying to go through these comments at the same time. I am going to go check out this Mall of America thing, whatever happened, because y'all got me really wondering about it. Oh my gosh. Jen, can you please email me and remind me of that? Who would I nominate for 2020's Eddie Award for Worst Pastor? Oh my goodness, I totally forgot about that. Will you please email me, Jen? Please. You don't even call me anymore anyway, so I'm about to call you right now. I'm gonna call you right now. I'm gonna text you right at this moment. Because I really want to do that. And I just forgot. So it's not there. Even though you didn't text me back from that last time I texted you. I text you now. All right. I will make sure I get that though. All right. I see some good commentary right here. I see him. Good family reunion action going on. Yes, he did. Absolutely, Mary. God said that he would see us through to the end in Jude 24. No worries. I got no worries at all. No worries whatsoever. And by God's grace, there will be no worries ever. All right, wait, what is this? My church, Gerald says, my church has run into trouble with our train ministry. Told several times that we were soliciting while they were preaching and handing out tracts. I don't know what the train ministry is though, but okay. Oh, probably. Okay, I got you. You're on the train. Okay, I got you. Totally get it now. Sorry. Man, we'll be praying for y'all because that's a great way to speak to people and share the gospel. Absolutely. So I'll definitely be praying for y'all. All right. Oh, here we go. Chicken Grease said the Mall of America was a guy with Jesus said, yeah, okay, being told to take it off if you want to stay in the mall. Gotcha. That's what I was thinking. I didn't know it was the Mall of America. Okay, cool. Well, not cool, but I got you. All right, what we got here? Hill said, we can't wear Jesus t-shirts in the mall anymore. Watch me. I mean, it is, from the picture I saw, it was kind of wild. Like, wait, how you gonna tell somebody they can't wear that in the mall? Like, I don't get that. On the train platform. Okay. Got you, Gerald. Thank you. All right. All right. So y'all, Jen emailed me back, text me back. So now we're back in good standing. We're in good standing again. So we were in trouble a moment ago. All right, what we got? Some good family reunion stuff going on. I love it. I'll close that down. Appreciate it. But yeah, I thank y'all so much, man. This was a fun time. I apologize I couldn't get my audio to work. I'm gonna figure out what's wrong with that. Why I was acting crazy, but next time maybe I'll do it right. But I want to thank you all again. Thank you so much for your support of Dear World Christian and for all the Christian content creators. I am going to be hopefully introducing you to some new ones on February 19th when I do my Christian content creator coffee chat. Hopefully you'll be able to come by and check that out, meet some new content creators, and of course some new people to support. I'm trying to think, I'm looking at my notes, make sure I hit everything I was going to talk about. I got it all. So I will, you'll see, of course, some new content from me this week, as well as lots of shorts coming up in February, because I'm going to be doing a little bit of traveling, but hopefully everything else will go well. I thank you all. Repost the email. Okay. Now that I can do. I'm going to pull up my little slideshow I had. Give me 1 second. Just so everybody can see it. I could just type the email in there because that would be like too much like right? Oh, my kids so loud. Do y'all hear my kids? All right, so drop this out of the way, Jason. All right, if you're a content creator or Christian content creator, please join me for my coffee chat, which will be on February 19th at 7 o'clock. Lord willing, shoot me an email. Just put in the comments, coffee chat or whatever like that, and you'll get an invitation to come on and we can just talk about what you're doing on your channel. This is a good opportunity to just introduce your channel to other people, let other people know what you're doing, and so on and so forth. Just like my brother Willie just showed up in the building. What's up, Willie? Good to see you, brother. Grace and peace. But so that is going to be the coffee chat. No, I am not on TikTok. I heard somebody call it the online insane asylum, and I said that's probably fair. No, I'm not on TikTok. I know there are some good things that happen on TikTok. I just YouTube's enough. I can see myself really wasting a lot of time on there. So no, I don't do that. Sorry, Jen, but you can call me back though. How about that? Let's see. It says, what if I want to spectate, but I don't drink coffee? Can I drink hot chocolate instead? Absolutely. You can have pop. You can have water. Today I'm drinking water. You can have tea. You can have an adult beverage. Do whatever. It's okay. It is okay with me. Absolutely. Great question though. Let's see what else I missed here. I think I got everything. I hit everything here. I hit it all. I appreciate it. Thank you all very much for your support. Thanks for helping me out here at Dear World Christian. One more time, my goal moving forward is to hit 1 million views. So help me out. Check out a video or 2 or 20. Let me know what you think about them. Feel free to make sure you watch them though before you comment like that person. At least watch it before you chastise me. That'll be great. But I love it. So I thank you all so much. You guys have been a blessing. I really do appreciate all this interaction, all the comments and such like that, the family reunions, seeing you all in the live chats or in the comments of my videos. It really does mean a lot to me. So I'm hoping that moving forward, we'll be able to make much more of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. We'll be able to continue to build these bonds and fellowships until we meet around the throne. So thank you all again for all of the time. Thank you so much for your interactions and all that kind of good jazz. I hope I didn't repeat myself too many times, but you know that you all mean a lot to me. So I thank you all very much. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace. Take care.